Greetings everyone, back with another Sneaker Shop Talk performance review. And as you can see, we've got a pair of 2012 Hyperfuses, man. So let's just go ahead and not waste too much of your time, and let's get right into it. There isn't anything inside the shoe that's going to cause you any sort of chafing or hot spots in terms of seams. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Sliding up to the fit, the shoe actually fits really well. And there's no sort of fly wire or anything of that nature. So it's totally dependent on the design and the material to achieve optimal fit. And it does a good job of this. The thing that the forefoot is a bit wider than the predecessor to this particular shoe, but not enough to where you notice this massive toe hawk or anything of that nature. It's just a little more comfortable. It's slightly wider, and then it's a little bit taller too, because one of the things with the 2011 was I felt like my feet were bumping up against the top of it, and that's not a feeling I really like. It made me notice the shoe in an area where you didn't want to notice the shoe. But moving back, it fits really good. The lacing system, by and large, works very well with your foot. The shoe flexes very well. It did, I kind of hate this, it did bulge up a little bit right here around the mid of the midfoot, which I wasn't really like. I feel like right here, as you can see, that's a flex point right there. If that would have had a flex groove right there, that would have made the shoe flex even better. But the fit from the midfoot, despite that, was still very good. Even at the heel, was very good. Like I said, you've got some degree of padding here, although it's slightly sculpted, but it's not notched or anything. But that, in conjunction with the lacing system, works very well to keep your heel locked in place. My only fit / interrelated issue at times was the tongue here. And I'm gonna unlace them real quick here. I don't want to too much of your time here. Is right here. You can see this. You've got padding a little bit top of the tongue. The problem is when you lace the shoe up tight, it falls in between that padding. So sometimes it was a little bit of discomfort I would experience when you're lacing it up ready for game time. It wasn't to the point of super discomfort, borderline on pain, like I had with the Crazy Light 2. But again, like I was talking about with the 2011, it was something that was noticeable. And in a performance shoe, I don't want to notice things like that. You don't want to notice those types of things, because those can be kind of distractions of what you need to do on the court. If the padding probably just extended just a quarter of an inch down further, it would have been perfect. It would have really taken care of that, and it wouldn't have been an issue. But aside from that tongue issue, the fit of this particular Hyperfuse was very good. I said it holds it in place, front to back, side to side, on a vertical plane as well. Just with the exception of the tongue issue, that was the really only negative. Alright, now as far as cushioning, you got a Phylon midsole, and you've got a Zoom bag. Runs about here. It doesn't take up the entirety of the forefoot. It's a little met bag right there. In terms of playability right out of the box, it's pretty good. There's not a whole lot of breaking time with the midsole here. It is firm, but it does compress, so it's not too hard. So you can see that there is some compression there, so it is giving you a lot of impact protection there. Of course, with the Phylon midsole there, the Zoom Air, it's not quite as responsive as it is in other models or other shoes, period. but if you press it down hard enough, you can somewhat feel it. It just may not be that type of feeling that you've experienced in say, maybe a Hyperdunk 2011 or something like that, where it's a lot more noticeable. But nonetheless, it's still very good. Right out of the box, long-lasting, cushioning. Doesn't bottom out or anything. Gives a good combination of solid impact protection as well as a hint. I won't say perfect, but it's a good combination of that. Even I would say this setup is versatile enough for, of course, perimeter players, guards, and that things, and maybe even small fours as we've gotten in today's basketball. A stretch four, this would be a very viable shoe for even a stretch four. Of course, the big guys, you want to go in another direction, but the cushioning on the Hyperfuse is very good, and it's going to stand up long enough to get you through a whole season. Moving down to the outsole, you can see the traction pattern is heel to toe, herringbone, nothing but herringbone. Even in these flex areas here, try to turn so you can get a look. You can see you've got terraced herringbone even in the flex areas in the forefoot. And the neck, basically, this shoe has really good traction in all directions, whether your toes moving back, moving laterally, playing defense or whatnot, making cuts. The shoe holds you in place, even on what I would call less than well-maintained courts. It still holds in place. As you can see, like I said, it grips the court well. The rubber, see if you can see that there, is rather flexible, so that allows it to grip the floor very well. And even with some of the there's a XDR version, which is extra durable rubber. You can get some outdoor run in the Hyperfuse as well. This particular pair is not one of those, but you can play in them outdoors even for a time if you get one of those versions. So the traction is very good. Stability is good as well. You've got you've got a little bit of an outrigger there on the forefoot. It does help to keep the shoe from tipping over throughout my wear. I never had an instance of the shoe wanting to tip or roll or anything. It's a pretty stable shoe without being overly wide at the base, which is why you have the outrigger there in the first place. So for those of you who are, ankle phobic in terms of hurting themselves, this shoe is really good for that. As again, kind of dipping back to the fit category, the fit's good here and here. So the shoe's not going to roll, but the traction is very good. No matter where you're going, it's going to definitely hold you in place. All right, in closing, 2012 Hyperfuse is a shoe that definitely picks up some of the shortcomings of its predecessor. Excels well in the areas of cushioning, fit, traction, and it does it all in a fairly lightweight package. Now, if you are someone who has very wide feet, someone who wants super responsive and low profile cushioning, very wide feet, or you're a big fella, this may not be the shoe for you, as there are other options out there for you. But for everyone else, if you're an active perimeter player, this could definitely be a shoe for you. The materials hold it very well to wear, so they'll get you through a whole season. We at Sneakershoptalk.com definitely put this on our recommend list to play in. Pick up a pair of these, you won't be disappointed. That concludes this review. Thanks everyone for watching. Peace.